Hey everyone, it's Venks here, and we are here with the first episode of What's Happening in Digital. With What's Happening in Digital, we are actually looking to demystify digital for small to medium-sized businesses. Obviously, it means a lot of things to a lot of people, but a lot of businesses are actually confused about what digital means and how they can actually benefit from it. So today is just going to be about introducing ourselves and kind of lay the groundwork of the kind of topics we are looking to cover in future episodes. So we're just going to be introducing ourselves, but it's probably the only time we're going to be talking about ourselves. So you get a sense of who we are, what our experience is. In future, if people kind of want to know more about BroadWeb, it kind of becomes a video that we actually refer them to. So who we are. So my name is Venkatesh. A lot of people call me Venks for short. I'm based in Melbourne. I've got about 20 years of experience in technology. A big part of that was in corporate. So about 2003, I started my career as a software engineer. My last corporate role was head of platforms engineering at Yahoo 7. And then I kind of took a break from that and really wanted to dabble in startups. And when I was working on an event ticketing startup, I actually had to pay the bills. So I started taking on projects on the side. So as it turned out, the startup trial kind of really didn't go anywhere, but the consulting work that I was doing started taking off. So that's really how BroadWeb kind of got formed. And that was back in 2014. So 8 years on, we're still going strong. So technology has always been my focus, always been a geek throughout. Even in its initial years, we did a lot of technology projects. But I soon kind of realized that technology doesn't work in a bubble. A lot of the things we were doing for clients was focused with a marketing goal in mind. So we were doing it to improve leads, sales, conversions. And that's where really I got interested in on the marketing side of things. And that really kind of was a very eye-opening experience. And that's where I kind of read up a lot about marketing, really taught myself because I don't have a background in that, and took on a lot of marketing projects recently as well. But then I also found the need to have someone with some really solid experience. So that's where Harshad comes in, who I'm joined by Harshad here. We met through a common friend, and he's just recently joined BroadWeb as head of digital marketing. So I might just get him to introduce himself.
Thanks, Venks. So my name is Harshad Ghodke. I started my career back in the early 2000s when I started my career, in fact, with networking. And then I got into IT projects like project management, software development, and stuff. My SEO career started in 2006 when I was parallelly working on my own websites. I had a full-time day job back then. And in 2009, I decided that, yes, digital marketing is something that I would do full-time. I quit my day job and I started full-time to digital marketing. When I came to Australia, I wanted to understand how the Australian market works, how the business over here works. So what I did was I did work for multiple agencies. I worked for top brands in Australia, and to understand how they work and what is the kind of market in that angle. So yes, I do have experience working with small and medium and top size businesses as well. And I love doing SEO and anything that's with digital marketing. So right now I'm helping businesses to increase their presence online and so that they can increase their sales as well.
Right. So a little bit more about BroadWeb, what we do. There's really kind of 6 pillars to what we do, and they're all kind of interconnected. I like to think of them as 6 different words because that makes it a lot more accessible. So they are basically build, connect, grow, host, maintain, and secure. So what that means, what does that mean? Build is more about kind of building online experiences. Now that could be like a website, a web app, a mobile app. It could even be a chatbot. right? So it's basically an outlet for a business to have consumers understand more about what they do. And that's where we're doing a lot of our work in. But that's just one aspect of it. Then there's also a lot of efficiencies we can gain from wiring up disparate systems. So as you can imagine, there's a lot of different pieces of technology that are used in businesses. They don't necessarily talk to each other. So how do we actually remove some of the manual work that happens in transferring data from one place to another and automate it all? So that's where Connect comes in, where we can actually automate a lot of the data transfer that happens between systems and reduce the human factor, which means fewer errors as well. Grow, as we kind of mentioned, is an area we are really kind of taking a lot of, making a lot of progress in. Digital marketing, again, is not just SEO, it's just not PPC. It's a lot more than that. And that's where we aim to kind of talk a lot about what digital marketing means. A very quick tip is that we should start with a strategy. Not to say I want to do SEO, but start with what I want to get out of marketing. So there's a lot you will hear from Harshad on this particular topic. There's actually a tip on SEO at the end as well that he'll want to talk about. So stick around for that. We talked about online experiences, but that needs to be hosted, right? It needs to go somewhere. So that's where our infrastructure services comes into play. And it's just not about putting something online, but it's also making sure that your data is secure and your application is scalable. What that means is if there's a lot of traffic that's coming to your site, you want to make sure your site doesn't get crushed under that load and becomes inaccessible. It also means that there are no vulnerabilities in your website, web application, where the bad guys can get in and result in a data breach and things like that. So those two aspects are definitely something we kind of really pay a lot of attention to. It's very closely related to hosting is maintenance. You want to make sure whatever technology stack you use is kept up to date. Because taking WordPress as an example, there are vulnerabilities that get exposed on a daily basis. So a lot of them are in WordPress plugins and themes. So you want to make sure that actually those patches that come out are actually applied in a timely manner. And that's how you kind of maintain those sites. Also, you want to make sure they're optimized for performance. Performance is a whole different topic that we can go into a lot of detail in future episodes. So that's something we aim to cover. And lastly, security. What we've found is that this particular area is given the least amount of attention, especially by small to medium-sized businesses, because they don't have the know-how. They think it's very expensive. They think that they are not targets because why would hackers go after them? And that's actually a very that's a wrong way of thinking about it, because hackers don't really care. They just want to be able to get into systems from where they launch attacks against other systems. So we'll talk a lot more about that in future. But very briefly, security services is something we provide. That includes things like security audits to make sure your current setups are secure. So those are the 6 pillars that we broadly cover. What are the technologies we use in those areas? We don't do everything. So if you come to us with a Microsoft .NET project, we are probably not the right fit for it. We do things like WordPress, WooCommerce, Shopify on the front end / CMS side of things. In e-learning systems, we use Moodle a lot. HTML5, CSS3, JavaScript, they're really the building blocks of websites. So that is definitely an area we're kind of very, very much experienced in. React.js is something that's really taking off because it kind of really allows you to have your front-end layer separate from the backend, which gives you a lot of benefits. On the backend, we've used mostly PHP-based frameworks. Laravel and Symfony are the 2 most popular frameworks that really allow you to write secure applications fast. You don't want to kind of reinvent the wheel, and there are a number of packages that allow you to get up to speed very quickly. On the database side, we've got MySQL, which is undoubtedly one of the most popular database engines that we use. There's also one that's not here, which is MongoDB, a document-based database storage engine, NoSQL engine that we use as well. So other than technology, like I mentioned, there is one area that Harshad really specializes in, SEO. So I'm really kind of keen to hear from you, Harshad, in terms of SEO. It's been around for so many years. It's got a good name. It's also got a bad name. So how has that really evolved? What does SEO mean in today's world?
So yeah, SEO has been evolving. The Google algorithm is improving day by day, and it's becoming really smart. So earlier, it was easy that you create tons of spammy backlinks, and the pages used to rank really well. There was a thing called Google Bomb, where people link the word failure to a president's name, and then when you type failure on Google, the president's website, like the White House website page, used to rank #1 on Google. And these are the things which you can't do anymore, and which is really good. Yes, if you are authority, if you have good backlinks, it still works, but it's not like before. So yes, I won't say backlinks is not important factor when it comes to ranking pages and websites. It is, but it is not as before. And one thing that we wanted to share on this video is, if you are thinking about SEO, there is so much information. Don't read everything and don't listen to everyone. You can, but you can't really do everything that's mentioned everywhere. So if you ask me for one single tip, I would say focus on your readers. If you can impress your reader, you will impress the Google algorithm as well. And chances are that you will rank pretty well. It will take time, but if you follow doing things for your readers, for example, if I am kind of writing a review on a product, okay, if I give my readers an alternatives to that particular product, I'm sorry, then the Google algorithm is going to like it. So that's because I'm giving them options apart. Like, I'll explain what the product is about, but apart from that, if people are interested in anything else, they can choose these products as well. So something like that. So think about how you would want to read as a user, and then create the content and page accordingly. That would be
not
my.
So much about the reader. It's not so much about just focusing on the end user, right?
Correct.
Why are they coming to your site? What kind of questions they've got?
Correct.
How do you actually answer those questions? How do you overcome their objections? If I get it right, yeah.
Correct. Absolutely. Yeah, you need to understand the user intent as well. That's really important, right? So we'll talk more about all this in our future episodes. But as of now, yes, just focus on the user. That would be my tip when it comes to search engine optimization.
Got it. Cool.
So what can you expect from us in future episodes? Obviously, if you're on YouTube, you would like to subscribe or like these videos. But what is in for you? A lot of SEO deep dives, like we're going to look at the Google algorithm updates. We're going to see what's new with SEO. And when we say SEO, because there's Amazon SEO as well, right? You want to rank your products on Amazon. And then there's going to be social media marketing as well. We'll talk about Facebook, we'll talk about LinkedIn and all that as well. Conversion rate optimization, yes, a really important topic where, because getting traffic to the website is only half the battle. One, you need to convert that traffic. That's really important. So no matter how much traffic I send to your website, if that's not converting, then that traffic is of no use. That's why conversion rate optimization is really critical. And we will, in future episodes, we will touch upon what works, what does not work. If any one of you, if you have any websites which you want us to look at, you can send us an email at info@broadweb.com.au, and we'll have a look at those websites from a CRO or a SEO perspective. And we will look at website performance as well, security as well, because all these things, if you have a website or any digital asset, you need to make sure that the your website, for example, it loads fast, it's up all the time, right? And because if your website is down and if you're ranking number one on Google for something, which is driving you lots of traffic and sales or leads, and if that website goes down for, let's say, a couple of hours, and that is the time when the Google bot actually visited your website and found it to be a 404, or if it's down, then it's a problem, right? So keeping your website secured is really important as well.
And those are those two topics are really my area of interest. So I can't, I can go on and on talking about performance and security. So really look forward to covering those topics. But again, really keen to hear from you guys on what you want to hear about. What we want to do is not keep it too technical and make it more accessible. So definitely we will try and keep a lot of what we're saying very basic from the user's point of view and try to make you understand what those things mean. But yeah, really keen to hear from you what you want to hear from us.
Right. So yeah, the website address is broadweb.com.au, and you can email us at info@broadweb.com.au. If you're watching this on YouTube, you are free to comment on this video. It's our first video, so we are sorry if there is any technical issues. But if you want something that you want us to cover in future episodes, to write in the comments, and obviously we'll like it if you like the video, or subscribe it on YouTube. And thanks for watching.
Thanks, guys. See you
soon. Bye-bye.